I think this was something that happened when I was in sixth grade, and back then I actually had two friends that we'll call them on Jake for now, and we're like a little friend group. And although we weren't some top graders, we're also not some bad student either. We just kind of minded our own business and did our own thing. And I'm pretty sure that almost every friend group has a chill guy and a guy that does crazy things. And well, let's just say that Jake was the one that pretty much did many crazy things. I wouldn't say that he was weird in any way, but um, he kept bringing some really weird stuff as well as a few contrabands to school. And I'm not going to mention the exact grades we were in, but it all started with a few simple toys like the vampire teeth that you gotta put inside your mouth like it's a brace for your teeth. And the second toy he brought to school was one of those cookie run cards, which was a pretty trending thing back then, except that the design was kind of different compared to what people can buy today. And the cards we had back then were pretty rigid too. But sometime later, he started bringing some contraband to school, and I remember this one time where he brought lighters to school, and next time he bought a cigarette inside a math compass storage box, but he ended up getting caught once someone reported him anyway because, well, you can hide a cigarette, but you can't really hide the smell that was released inside the box. So the knife incident happened in sixth grade, I think it happened on I believe it happened on a Tuesday morning, and back then I believe the third period was a self-study period. So I pretty much sat there and did my own thing, and suddenly I saw a crowd that gathered around the table, and back then I knew it was Jake's table. So what I ended up doing was I walked over to it to kind of see what the fuss was about, and bro was just straight up showcasing a knife that his friend made, and I it was kind of similar to a Kojitsune from Valorant when I saw it, but except everything was smaller, including the handle and the blade, and it wasn't the blade wasn't something that looked like what a katana would have. It was just a sharp, long triangle blade, and the whole thing could actually fit into your pocket, and it had the cover that you would put the blade inside as well. Um, Back then he was telling everyone that they could pay a certain amount of money to get one, and well, people were kind of placing their orders, and well, back then the young me thought it was cool, so I went to Jake when everyone had left, and asked him about the knife, and on the very next day, I brought the money, handed it over to him, and pretty much just waited. I did mention that it happened on a Tuesday morning, and I handed him the money on Wednesday, and well, I got the knife on Friday. Once I got it though, I quickly stored it somewhere inside my backpack and didn't take it out until I was on my way home. And back when I was on my way home, I would say that admiring the knife was my biggest mistake because I was in the car with Annie, who was my neighbor and my biggest enemy at the time, and Mr. Davidson, who was her driver, and Miss Keene, who was a worker at a store that Annie's parents owned at the time. And once they saw me admiring the knife, they confiscated it and pretty much made fun of me. And back then, Annie also mocked me by saying that she would tell my mom about it. And when we got home, she told my mom everything that happened, and Miss Keene handed her the knife. She didn't yell at me though. She just kind of, well, lectured me on how I shouldn't have done something like this and how the knife could actually kill me. And I can understand why, but it's not like I wouldn't tell her about it because, well, a knife was a very obvious object and she's gonna find out sooner or later. And I feel like a knife is a very serious item too, so I just know that I gotta tell her about it. And to put it in perspective, I was only 11 when I bought the knife, and just imagine how dangerous that was. But yeah, that's pretty much how I bought a knife from a friend back when I was still in middle school. Anyway, bye bye.